Well, guys, we have now made it to the finale of Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. It has been a fun journey rewatching the original show and reviewing all three of its seasons. And it's been fun reviewing each episode of Born Again as well. And there's a lot to talk about here, like for one, Fisk decides to take away the power of New York City so that everything in New York is blacked out. Criminals are breaking into places and bad cops are killing criminals just for stealing and to cover their faces to make them look like they're vigilantes. While that's going on, Matt breaks out of the hospital that he was in and goes back to his apartment where he sees that Frank is all of a sudden there waiting for him. And we find out that he's there because Frank got a phone call from someone to go and help Matt, which I wonder who that person from that phone call might be. It's Karen. Yep, he's got that phone call from Karen, which means we see Karen come back in this episode to help Matt and Frank escape after Matt's apartment gets blown up. And it's great seeing Karen back because I missed her when she just left the show after the first episode, and then they decided to bring her back for this episode and pretty much in season 2. Speaking of Matt's apartment, Fisk's task force breaks into his apartment where Matt and Frank are in full costume and they're taking a lot of them down, which leads to some very satisfying stuff. And it's the kind of stuff where I want to say the S word because it just feels appropriate for this scene, where we just see Matt beating up a bunch of these guys while Frank is just killing them left and right. He's shooting at them, he's grabbing their heads and putting them on tables while he's shooting on them. He's knocking them all out with his guns. He throws one of his weapons at one of them and gets his eyes out. And all the stuff with Frank in this episode is amazing. And I'm great that this show is TVMA because he had some bloody moments that were highly satisfying. And I freaking loved it. And I don't mean freaking. Like, his fight scenes in this episode alone are similar to his jail scene when he's fighting a bunch of prisoners in season 2 of Daredevil. And that shows that this series didn't hold anything back with the violence. It shows everything from when either Frank is killing people or when Muse is killing people for his murals or when Fisk is killing people, and it shows a lot of it. And after Frank and Matt escape, Karen and Matt decide to figure out what Foggy was planning for his case right before he got murdered, where Vanessa hired Bullseye to kill Foggy because he was working on a case so that she wouldn't get Red Hook port, so that she wouldn't launder money there, and since Fisk is also using that place so that he can make gambling and smuggling legal, that becomes a huge problem, and both Matt and Karen have to go out and stop all that from happening. And while that's going on, Fisk finds out that this commissioner has been thinking about revealing everything about Fisk to the governor, and that of course causes Fisk to take the commissioner back, and Fisk decides to kill him, which the way he does it is... jeez, it is very brutal. He starts out crushing his head and just ripping a part of his jaw off. Yep, a Marvel show made for Disney Plus allowed it to be in this show, and I'm glad they did, because that's one of the best things about the original show, where it didn't shy away from the violence and you see everything that's happening. Frank finds his fans' hideout and tries to kill a lot of them, but unfortunately gets imprisoned by them, which they're either saving that for season 2 of Born Again or they're saving that for his own special, which either way, I'm excited. We find out that the person that killed Hector Ayala in the end of episode 3 was Cold North, who is wearing the Punisher symbol on his suit. Matt is about to get ready to kill Cold North, but decides not to because he doesn't want to make the same mistake he made with Bullseye again. So it does kind of redeem Matt as Daredevil, where he doesn't want to kill people because that's not part of his code. Daredevil doesn't kill criminals, even though the Punisher does. But it ends up redeeming Matt and makes him not want to try to kill any bad guy again, which kind of explains why they had to let Bullseye live in the first episode, just to show that Matt can redeem himself after that. Now, the way this season ends, unfortunately for me, felt a little rushed, because it has Matt and Karen getting ready to go to Red Hook, but Matt is already still a little exhausted from jumping off of his apartment from blowing up, and both him and Karen decide to just go back to New York just to help people, and Matt to come up with his own rebellion against Wilson Fisk, where he has Karen, Cherry, Josie, and a couple of good cops on his side, and maybe finding some more people that want to go against Fisk and his rules about vigilantes, which I do get why they're doing that. I get why they're making this be the setup for season 2. It just felt a little rushed. Like, it didn't feel like there was a big finale happening. Also, with this rebellion that Matt has, it does kind of open the door for some possible characters to return for season 2 of Born Again. And these are just my thoughts. Like, I want to see them bring back Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. I loved her as a character and in her own show. I also want to see them bring back Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. I really liked him in both Jessica Jones and in his own show. Not Iron Fist. I think I'm good without Iron Fist, although it's still possible that they could bring him back, so we'll see what happens. And now that this season's over, I can now talk about some of the new characters that they introduced for this show. Now, I am interested with characters like Heather, BB, and Blake. They do feel a little more developed as the season continued, and I am looking forward to seeing how they're used in season 2. Now, as for some of the other characters like Buck and Cherry and Kirsten, there really isn't much about them. I mean, there's a little bit about Cherry because he's a retired commissioner and he knows that Matt is Daredevil, but besides that, we don't really get to learn much about him or Kirsten or Buck throughout the show. Like, Buck is supposed to be Fisk's new Wesley, and Kirsten is supposed to be Matt's new partner at the firm, and that's it. But I now feel good in saying that I like Daredevil Born Again. It's a great show. No, it's not as great as the original series. That series still had some stuff that I liked more than Daredevil Born Again, because most of the action in this show isn't always the best with some of the editing. Sometimes the humor can feel out of place and unnecessary, and the 5th episode with the bank robbery just didn't work for me at all. But it still had a lot of the stuff that I loved from the original show. It's still character driven, it still takes itself very seriously, and it doesn't shy away from the violence. And it is one of the better Marvel Disney Plus shows, and there really isn't a lot that I personally enjoyed. There are some that I did enjoy, like WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki, and I loved X-Men 97, but with other shows like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Echo, I did not like very much. But I'm happy to say that this still turned out to be a really good show, and I'm excited for season 2. I'm gonna give Daredevil Born Again season 1 a B+. And that concludes my Daredevil journey, for now, until season 2 of Born Again comes out. And I know there's also the Ben Affleck Daredevil film and Elektra with Jennifer Garner, and if you guys want me to review those 2 films, let me know in the comments below. And if you have watched the finale and the entire series, what did you think about it? Are you excited for Born Again, or do you think that this is one of the worst Marvel Disney Plus shows and it does not do a good service to the original show? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.